Kanye West, he would be facing sex trafficking charges if it was anywhere else.
Gene Deal has recently drawn attention to several major celebrities he claims had close ties to Diddy, naming figures like Kanye West, Jay-Z, and Usher. His comments have sparked fresh debate online, with some people now asking why 50 Cent may have left parts of this conversation out of his documentary. To end this breakdown, we'll look at each name Gene mentioned and the context behind those claims, starting with the first person he focused on in his recent interview, Usher. Gene referenced past statements Usher himself has made about being exposed to situations at a very young age that he says he shouldn't have been around. According to Gene, those comments raise questions on their own and deserve closer examination.
A lot of celebrities that saw it. There's probably a lot of stuff. Look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here it is, this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself.
The message Gene is pushing is clear. He believes Usher was exposed to situations that were completely inappropriate for someone his age, especially given the environments he was around. Gene then went further, making a much more serious claim about Usher's time in Diddy's circle. According to Gene, there was an incident involving Diddy and Usher that he says ended with Usher being taken to the hospital. These claims haven't been proven, but they've added fuel to the growing conversation and raised more questions about what was happening behind the scenes during that time.
A certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know.
Gene says Usher himself has hinted at these experiences in the past, even though he's never fully explained what happened. Because of that, Gene questions why Usher would later speak positively about someone he claims may have put him in dangerous situations when he was younger.
Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp.
Gene then pointed to a specific memory from that time to explain why this still weighs on him. He says he personally witnessed behavior that made it clear the environment around Diddy wasn't safe, especially for young artists who were still finding their way. According to Gene, one of the most serious moments left out of the documentary involved an incident between Diddy and Usher that he claims was so severe it led to Usher being hospitalized.
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing some, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, "Yo, I don't f with that dude." And at the time, I didn't even know who the f Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations, and when probably say, "Yo, man, I don't f with them niggas. Man, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that." You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened.
Gene says this suggests that certain things were happening behind the scenes, and while people in the industry knew, staying silent was the norm. He then shifted to something he claims to have personally witnessed involving Diddy and Jamie Foxx, emphasizing that he only speaks on what he saw himself. Gene said he first met Jamie Foxx on a tour bus during a trip that's still a blur to him. At the time, everything seemed friendly, with nothing indicating a close bond. But later, he claims he started noticing disturbing behavior involving Diddy and Jamie toward women.
They was on some friendship stuff, and it was a tour bus, and Puff was in the back, and there was a lot of girls in the front, and Jamie was just real touchy-feely, but Puff didn't come out the back. I don't know if Puff came out the back of the tour bus. You understand? And Jamie went back there for a minute or so, then he just came out, and he was all touchy-feely with the girls, and I'm looking at this dude like, wow, this dude kind of like touchy-feely with these girls, and he don't even know them. They know him because he's Jamie Foxx, but he didn't know them. So I don't really know their real relationship or how close they was. I didn't meet Jamie Foxx and really have a conversation with him until I was.
What makes this even more troubling, according to Gene, is that Jamie Foxx has openly talked about partying with Diddy and being part of what he referred to as freak-offs. Jamie has even joked publicly about teaching Diddy how to party on a budget. Looking back now, Gene says those comments raise new questions. Some people have also started wondering why federal agencies were ever around Diddy and whether he was viewed as some kind of asset at the time. Gene then moved on to another name he says was quietly left out of the documentary, Ja Rule. He explained that story began in Atlanta, when he and Diddy walked into a specialty store while traveling. Gene says it was his first time seeing Diddy in a place like that, and what stood out most was how comfortable Diddy seemed.
First time I ever went to an exotic bookstore, with Puff. I didn't know he even did that, but we was in Atlanta. So when we went to the door, they gave him a brown paper bag, so I guess this is a place that he was used to and people knew him there. So when they gave him a brown paper bag, Puff was just going around the store, just picking items off the shelves and stuff like that, putting them in the brown paper bag. So then, I was behind him and no Diddy, but I was about 3 feet behind him, you know what I'm saying, as he was putting stuff and putting it in his bag and stuff like that. So this one particular place that he was put up there, he had to reach up kind of high and get it. So he just started pulling things out, and he was pulling a lot of them off there. So I was like, so I looked up and the thing said butt plugs. When he walking down the thing, said butt plugs. I said, hey yo, just to mess with him. I said, hey yo, what are you getting these for? And he said, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yes, you can. And I waited up at the register for him, because they had the big counter up there. So when he came to the counter, I said, yo, I'm finna see what this one this mofo is putting in his bag, because I know he gonna have to take everything and put it on the counter so the dude could count it, right? My man, when he came there, he gave the dude a wad of hundreds like this. You know what I'm saying? He gave him a wad of 100 and just put it up there. The dude ain't even, you know what I'm saying? He ain't even want to know what was in there.
After that, they boarded a private jet and flew to North Carolina for a show, with Ja Rule traveling with them. During the flight, Gene says Diddy repeatedly urged Ja to go after Jay-Z musically, trying to stir tension behind the scenes.
They went to the room. I don't know what they were doing in there. I didn't give a shit. But Puff told me, Gene, do not let nobody You don't want to be up in that room because there was a whole lot of freaky shit going on.
Was he trying to start a conflict with Jay-Z? That's the question people keep asking. When they arrived at the hotel, they were staying in a large suite where people were eating, talking, and hanging out. Later, Diddy, Ja Rule, and a few women went into a separate room. Before they went in, Diddy gave Gene one clear instruction: don't let anyone else enter.
Jay-Z and Puff was given an...
Gene added that Diddy had a reputation for putting people in compromising situations as a way to influence their decisions. That night, Gene believes Diddy was trying to guide Ja Rule's career in a certain direction. Whether Ja Rule will ever publicly speak about what Diddy allegedly did remains unclear. The next name on Gene Deal's list was Jay-Z. Gene explained why he believes Jay-Z and Diddy were much closer than most people want to admit, despite public statements suggesting otherwise. According to Gene, their connection wasn't about friendship. It was about...
So they was back on the East Coast.
Because of that, Gene believes the industry itself had a serious problem. He says record labels didn't want to keep giving New York artists massive advances when Southern artists were achieving platinum success on much smaller budgets. Instead of fixing the system, Gene claims labels chose to hold New York artists back. He says this also played a role in 50 Cent's early struggles. Caught between label politics and damaging rumors, 50 eventually had to leave New York to find real opportunities, which led him to align with people outside the East Coast.
Close enough, nobody called me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it. But I don't know what kind of half a homo that is. And you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing.
According to Gene, East Coast rap was always going to make a comeback. He says there was one artist who was close to putting the East Coast back on top in a major way, similar to what Biggie once did, and that artist was Pop Smoke.
But they were so close that I expect him to remember, but I remembered. You understand? And he told Puff, he said, yo, Puff, yo, I heard about that Gene right there. That Gene got a mean left. Oh, you said that Gene a knock a out. Then he gonna come up to me and say, man, you look like, man, you a tear ass up. And I said to himself, I said, yo, no Diddy. Pause, whatever. I said, he don't even remember. I was about to knock him the F out. He didn't even remember. He said to me, to Laura. That's how these kids, these guys are, man.
Gene wrapped up by saying the industry never truly wanted East Coast rap to fully come back. He believes that every time it got close, something always seemed to stop it, admitting there's no hard proof, just a pattern he feels he's seen over the years. From his perspective, Jay-Z and Diddy were much closer than people now want to admit, beyond business, and comfortable enough to joke about personal matters. Gene also said many industry figures live in a bubble, creating chaos and then moving on as if nothing happened, a mindset he believes eventually catches up with people. He then turned to Kanye West, saying Kanye openly criticized Diddy before his arrest, but now appears back around him, even showing visible support. Gene says that kind of switch happens often in the industry when it's convenient. He added that Jane allegedly described being invited by Kanye and his wife on a Las Vegas trip where the group went out to shows.